Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this NGWA Waterwell Journal video interview called Catching Up. This is Mike Price, Senior Editor of NGWA's Waterwell Journal. And today I'm speaking with Brian Lane, CPI, CVCLD, President of Joe Samples Well Drilling, Inc. in White Pine, Tennessee. With March's Waterwell Journal covering pumps, we thought it would be a good time to catch up with Brian. Welcome, Brian. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity, buddy.
Yeah, you bet. To begin, what are some of the more common issues you deal with when installing or servicing a residential pump? And what have you found to be some of the common remedies for those issues?
From a servicing standpoint, I would say one of the more common issues that we run into is really the serviceability of the system. We've been in business for, since '54. So a lot of the wells and systems that we have in place have been in for generations. And people plant trees, people build additions, people put in swimming pools. So we show up to service a system that we installed 40 years ago. And since then, the access to that well has greatly been hindered, or trees have grown over, or they've done an addition or built a barn and a power lines over the wellhead. So accessibility to the sites is probably one of the most common problems that we run across. We find ourselves, having to limb trees and try to figure out another way to access the property. We literally have had issues where the water well is located in a bedroom closet. We have had to pull pumps, across somebody's bed in order to be able to get it out the window. It's just the craziest things that you run into. So, educating people on what it takes. And now we've really started to, hey, that tree's going to get bigger over the course of the next 10, 20 years. So, if you have somebody here trimming trees, take care of that for us ahead of time. So that's a big thing. As far as repairability, shoddy workmanship, other companies that have done some things, or DIY. YouTube has gotten people in a ton of trouble these days when it comes to working on well pumps. So we sometimes have to get very creative on how to undo what someone else has not necessarily done the way that we like for it to be done. Well, that's about it. As far as installs are concerned, contractors will build a house, they'll run a water line from the well to the house, just like they were tapping into utility water. And so that miscommunication, or what somebody thinks they're doing to help, really kind of hurts, because now you got to try to figure out how to get power out there to be able to power the well pump from the pressure switch. So those are some things that we run into that they're overcomable, but it typically costs the homeowner some money and us some time. So.
Okay, gotcha. And you've been at it for a while now, like you said. What do you think of the latest advancements in pump control technology, or pump control systems today?
I think more of the improvements that have been made on the advancements of the last, say, 10 years. Early on, VFDs, constant pressure systems, the theory was greater than the reality early on. We thought they were going to be indestructible, soft starts and that kind of thing. Really we're looking at putting in a system. We thought we could kind of get back to a 30-year system again. And there were some grounding issues. There were just more component issues within the drives that really were causing us a lot of headaches and customers to have problems. So I think that those kinks are being ironed out. There's a lot of manufacturers that have done a whole lot of improvement to their manufacturing process and the components that go into these very complex drives. So I think that's an improvement. And we're starting to get back to some reliability that we initially thought was going to be there, but didn't really work out the way we wanted it to. So that's been great. I have no issues with that. I love the drawdown features that manufacturers are putting on their constant pressure systems or VFDs. I think that's great. It keeps the pump from cycling every time somebody brushes their teeth. Even just a few pounds of drawdown will greatly reduce the amount of times that pump comes on in a given day, which has to extend life expectancy. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
Yeah, sure. And how common are you installing VFDs these days? Um,
Oh man, I mean, years ago we were talking, 80% of the systems that we were putting in were VFDs. I mean, unless you were basically on a single wide trailer, you were getting a VFD. We marketed and sold those things like crazy, and I would say that we're probably 20% now. We just, ended up having to kind of go back to the conventional way of doing things. It was tried and proven, so we had good luck with that, and now we typically push those more in the applications where it is absolutely a necessity rather than a luxury, and that's starting to change some, but that's kind of where we've gone from a company standpoint.
Gotcha. Well, and as mentioned too, you're a certified pump installer, CPI, from the National Groundwater Association, and also a certified certified vertical closed loop driller as well, from NGWA. But regarding your certified pump installer certification, what has that meant to you and your career at Joe Samples Well Drilling?
Well, I mean, the more letters you have after your name, the better you are, right? I mean, that's just the way the world works. But realistically, it's professionability. I mean, we bid a lot of jobs, and sometimes those bids just have a way of going to the person that looks the most professional. So we try our best to tout that every chance we get, and it's made a difference. We get questions sometimes, what is that? And I can make it sound really good.